what is going on? We have a beautiful day on the water today, and it is that time of the year again where we are prepping for a lobster season. Lobster season is only a short couple weeks away, so we are out here with my parents and Victor, and we're gonna go see if we can find some lobsters today. You guys ready?
Ready. We're scouting, Brooke. Anybody who takes their sport seriously scouts. They just don't go out the opening day. Whether you're a deer hunter, you're scouting prior to deer season. If you're a duck hunter, if you're serious duck hunter, we don't scout, we just duck hunt casually. So we go out and take our chances duck hunting. But lobstering, we take serious. So we almost always scout before mini season so we know where they are. We just go and get them real easy.
So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go find them, so on mini season we can go and get them real easy. So I will see you guys when we get to our spot, and I will see you underwater. All right guys, so we got to our first spot, and first things first, gotta put up the dive flag. The bigger the better, so that people can see it and they know what you're doing. Up nice and tall, nice and high. I'm in neutral, you're good to go. So my dad just spotted the first lobster of the day. Before we jump in and see it, I want to tell you guys about the 2 items that I would definitely be bringing in the water if it was lobster season. My custom Florida lobster net and my custom tickle stick. I hand make both of these and I sell them on my website, floridalobsternets.com. I have a ton of videos using both of these in action. They work absolutely great. The lobsters can't see it because it's clear, but the lobsters are gonna have a little bit of a break for the next couple weeks until we come back to catch these bad boys to have some delicious dinner. But if you guys are interested in these nets, you can go to floridalobsternets.com, or I will have a link in the video description. I've been working my butt off to have them ready so you guys can get them shipped right away to you so you can have them for lobster season. Now, let's jump in the water and go check out these lobsters. Here we go. So this is a lobster molt. Lobsters grow by molting. They shed their shells, and that's how they get bigger. So this is just an empty shell, but that usually means that this lobster is around somewhere. So let's see if we can find them.
I like to follow a hogfish because they will take you to lobsters and the prettiest spots on the reef.
So that was a hogfish, also known as a hog snapper, but it's actually not in the snapper family, it's in the wrasse family. But I see the first lobster of the day. I stuck my head out of the water for 1 second to tell you guys I saw that lobster, and I already lost it. They are so good at camouflaging, but my dad said, let me take you to 6. He found a rock with 6 already. I'd say there was at least 6 lobsters there. A couple of them are definitely too small. They wouldn't be legal, but there are some definite legal ones under that rock. It's so crazy how you'll have like hundreds of rocks in an area, and then there'll be like 8 under one rock, and then none under any of the other rocks. It's just so crazy.
That's all you needed to see. That little bit of antenna and gave himself away.
There's 4 beautiful parrotfish here.
My dad said there's 4 beautiful parrotfish here. The only thing about parrotfish is they are very shy and they're usually really hard to get close to. I just spotted a nurse shark. I'll tell you what, having a snorkel that doesn't work properly is probably the worst thing ever. That's one thing that's good about coming out and testing all your gear, not only looking for lobsters, but making sure all your stuff works, because I think I got a crack in my snorkel and this thing is leaking and it is so annoying. I couldn't even imagine trying to be focused catching lobsters and have a leaky snorkel, so gotta get a new snorkel. Pufferfish are so stinking cute. They're literally like those spiny pufferfish. They're like the cutest little fish on the reef. And they always let you get close to them. But my dad just said there's a lobster walking around right out in the open. I cannot believe I just got that on film. I can't believe I just witnessed that.
That was it's like nothing I've ever seen. Did you get close enough to film to see if they were actually a male and a female, Brooke?
I don't know if I got it too hard to see. At first I was like, are these two lobsters squaring up to fight? The craziest thing. My dad said in all his years of lobstering, he's never seen that before. Those were two big ones too. And then that other one that was just hanging outside the rock, that was a big one as well.
So maybe what you said, how there's no lobsters and then you see 8 and 1 under 1. Maybe they're grouping together to mate.
Yeah, maybe they're mating. I mean, I'm not gonna act like I know what I'm talking about, but FWC does a good job of, you know, creating seasons for certain species for certain reasons. And the season's been closed since March 31st. And maybe they mate during this time, and that's why. I always thought it was because this is when they had eggs, but you can't keep it when they have eggs anyway. So I guess this is like mating season during this time when it's closed. So fast, so peaceful, so beautiful.
Well, first spot, a lot of beautiful fish, probably at least a dozen lobsters, probably closer to like 15 or something like that. There was a decent amount of lobsters there, a lot of big ones as well. First time ever seeing lobsters mate before. That was crazy. But I just moved the boat a little bit. Now we're gonna jump in and see what we can spot at this spot. Here's a little tip. If your fins are just a little too big, put a nice pair of tight socks on and it helps them from falling off.
How you doing, cutie?
Hello, Vicky.
Hello, cutie pretty.
send it home before we get caught in a storm, because there has been some really, really bad, nasty afternoon thunderstorms lately. Yesterday the boys went fishing and they made it back just in time to the dock before a horrible lightning storm. So that storm is coming from onshore heading towards us, so we're gonna get home before it gets too bad. So how many lobsters did you see at that last spot?
The first spot, about a dozen. This spot, I think I saw probably 8. There's lobster here
8?
for sure. Yeah, there's lobster.
Oh my gosh, I only saw 1. How about you?
I think I seen 2 lobsters.
2?
Yeah.
Where'd you see 8?
I saw them. Well, I went way down there, but they're way deep. This is not the nice spot to get them. These are the really deep ledges.
No, the ones I seen would be hard to catch. I had to look under, you know, big long ledges, and I'd see them back in there. Look like hard ones.
So how was your dive?
Today was beautiful because unlike lobster season, when I'm all crazed about catching lobsters, I was just looking at the parrotfish and, you know, the butterfly fish, the puffer fish. I was just enjoying all the fish and just, you know, nature and the beauty of the reef, which a lot of times I don't take the time to enjoy that on mini season. I'm just chasing lobster. So today was a real nice dive. I enjoyed it.
How about you, Mom?
I had a great time swimming out there with the fishes too. It was beautiful, it was fun, it's so good to get in the ocean, get salty, it was awesome.
Would have been nice to check a couple more spots, but time to head home. We had a beautiful dive. It was perfect conditions. Luckily, we have some lobsters in the freezer from the last time we went diving, so we're still having lobster for dinner. So I will see you guys back home. Before we head to my parents' house to cook lobster dinner, I just want to go over a couple more things that I have on my website. This video is self-sponsored, so I do, besides the lobster nets and tickle sticks that I hand make myself, I also sell lobster gauges, which you legally need to have a lobster gauge on your boat if you are catching lobsters. So I have my lobster gauges. Another item I have is mask strap covers, which maybe you've used them before, and if you've never used them, then you don't know how great they are. Every single time you put your rubber mask on, it just rips out the back of your hair. Having a mask strap makes it go on much easier. I have a bunch of different colors that way. Also, each person can have a different color mask strap cover, so you know which mask is yours, because you shouldn't ever be sharing masks, because every single person has a different face. And when you wear that mask for a long time, it fits your face perfectly. And if someone, let's say, has a bigger head than you, goes to wear it, they stretch out your mask. So maybe you have pink, your brother has yellow, your mom has red, I don't know, something like that. And it makes it really easy so everyone knows whose mask is whose. And then I also have these t-shirts on my website with my logo and these beautiful lobster tails on the back. So floralobsternets.com. I'll have a link in this description. Thank you so much, everyone, for helping support me. Not only purchasing things on my website, but watching videos, commenting, liking, sharing it. I really appreciate all of it. So let's head to my parents' house and get to cooking. All right, guys, so we are in the kitchen, and like I said, we still had some lobster left over from the last time we went diving, and we defrosted 5 lobsters for dinner tonight. And Victor is taking them out of the shell currently, because for the recipe that we're doing tonight, we're taking them out of the shell. And usually when we take the lobsters out of the shell, we try to take off if they have a lot of this skin. Like you guys saw that molted lobster when we were diving, and sometimes they are at different stages and they have more skin than others, and then it gives it a weird taste. So let me show you what Victor just found on this one.
So this is the first one I did. The skin is basically part of the lobster. You're not even going to taste it. And then this one is so thick and fibrous, it peeled right off.
And that came out of another shell, right?
Yep. So this was its shell, and this was attached to that, and then the meat was attached to this. So this is something you would not want to serve someone.
Okay, Vic, explain what you're cooking tonight.
Okay. We got pan-seared lobster. And Brian really wanted a crab meat kind of stuffing or sauce, so we're going to do a little crab meat topping to go on top of the lobster. And then we're going to do a delicious cauliflower rice with a bunch of veggies. So starting in this pan right here, we're gonna go in with some white onions. So in this little saucepan, we're gonna go in with a little olive oil. Okay, got a bunch of cut up green onion.
All right, so Vic took the lobsters out of the shell, and now we're gonna season them up with some salt, pepper, onion powder, and then garlic powder. So now I'm gonna flip them over and season the other side the same way.
Now we're gonna go in with some garlic for our crab sauce. Gonna wake it up a little bit for about 30 seconds so you don't have that raw garlic flavor. And since it's summertime and we're all trying to eat healthy around here. Everyone's getting in shape for lobster season so we could be nice and strong in the water. Normally we'd use heavy cream, but we're gonna just use whole milk today, which is like 1/10 of the calories. So I'm gonna go in with some whole milk. Now we got some reduced fat cream cheese going in there as well. It's gonna thicken it up nicely. Because when you think of a crab meat stuffing, you think of a nice, creamy, sometimes cheesy, delicious seafood sauce. And the cream cheese is gonna provide that for us. Now for our cauliflower rice, I'm gonna go in with some baby bellas, as well as a bunch of broccoletti. And we're gonna go in with a bunch of garlic as well. So we're gonna go in with a little chicken stock. And I want the chicken stock to kind of get absorbed by that broccoli and mushroom. We're going to put in a little bit more later when we add in that cauliflower rice. That will also help kind of cook it down. And we're going to add a whole bag of cauliflower rice, as well as some cannelli beans. Now this stuff right here, delicious. It's kind of like a vegetable seasoning, almost like a chicken / vegetable stock seasoning. Really salty, so I'm not going to overdo it, but we're going to season our rice cauliflower with that. And the last bit of fun is a bunch of fresh parsley.
From my garden.
From Brook's garden. Homegrown, organic parsley from Brook's garden.
Going in with our lump crab meat. Going in with our lobsters into a pan with half butter, half olive oil. It's always so interesting when you see different color lobsters. Like, look at that one's like orange compared to this white one. We should have had some parsley or something to put on top. That's not very good looking. Okay, well, here you go, Dad.
I think it looks pretty serious.
Is this making you excited for lobster season?
Well, I've been excited for this ever since we talked about it. I said we take our lobster diving very serious. Well, we took this particular lobster dish very serious too. I just watched you cook it, and there was a lot of effort that went into this. It's beautiful and delicious.
I agree.
I had a very satisfying day. It was a beautiful day on the ocean, out in the boat. Didn't see the amount of lobsters that I expected to see, but it's nothing to get too concerned about because it's only July 7th or July 8th, and mini season's almost 20 days away. They usually come in at the last minute. So we seen a couple dozen lobsters today. You know, besides this meal being one of the highlights of today, we got to see lobsters mating. 45 years I've been diving that same reef and never seen this. Brooke and I came across a rock with 4 lobsters in it. 1 was sticking out, 2 decided to leave, and we followed them, and didn't they mate right in front of us? And it was just exciting as heck, because you know, I've seen those parrotfish 100 times. I still love seeing them every time I see them, but I've seen them 100 times. You know, I've seen those, you know, those butterfly fish 100 times. I've seen everything over and over and still never get tired of seeing it. But to see that for the first time was like, what? You know, I never even knew they, you know, how they did it or where or when. And Brooke went off on her way, and I followed those lobsters for, I don't know, another 20 minutes, and didn't they go at it again? The exact same way. I was yelling to Brooke, but she was way too far away from me to swim over and catch it. But they went at it again. They just followed each other around the reef like they were a couple. And they mated twice in front of us, and I followed them. They were like in a trance, like they didn't care, you know, that I was even there. So that was the highlight of my dive today, seeing something I had never seen before. And I'm glad we caught it on video so everybody else gets to see it. So, you know, if you've ever seen anything like that, you know, leave a comment, because I've spent a lot of time on that reef and never seen it before. So it was exciting.
Mom?
I really loved your dish, Brooke and Victor. It was delicious, and I hope we make it again. Crab meat's one of my favorite. It was so fun. And the smells that were coming out of this kitchen, I was so excited. So it's delicious. I had a great day on the boat. Every time you go out, you see something new, something different you never seen before. I seen a fish. I didn't know what it was. No one was there to help me, and then it swam away. It was gone forever. And, so you always see something different. It was a perfect day. Thank you.
Mike?
I think it was a perfect day. We just had the perfect meal. I think I was the only one who didn't get to see the lobster mating, but I get to watch the video now. And you guys don't see this, but Brooke has been working super hard the past month, making lobster nets. Every day I come home, she's making them till 10 o'clock at night. So if you want to support a small local YouTuber and get the best nets on the market, check them out, linked below.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, what Victor said. I've just been prepping for lobster season, literally making things until 10 p.m. Just trying to get them made as fast as possible so you guys can get them in time for lobster season. So if you guys have purchased anything from my site, I think this will be my 4th season of selling these nets. So over the last 4 years, if any of you have supported me by purchasing something on my website, I really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much. And if you guys are interested, FloridaLobsterNets.com. We had a great day on the water today, a great meal. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.